Now, due to the current issue which is happening between Russia and Ukraine, a lot of countries are either in support or they're against Russia. A lot of new sanctions are being imposed against Russia because of its invasion on Ukraine. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you a few of these important sanctions. And this is extremely important to know because these sanctions actually impact the Russian economy and it also impacts the global economy. So make sure if you do find this particular video useful, you do like it, you do subscribe, and also make sure you do watch the video till the end. So first, let's actually understand what are these sanctions or what are international sanctions. In very simple terms, these are economical or political decisions which are imposed by countries, organizations, states against other countries or governments in order to protect themselves from international law, in order to protect their national security, in order to defend themselves from multiple different threats which are happening internationally. So these are your international sanctions. Now, when it comes to Russia, three different kinds of sanctions have been imposed by multiple different countries. The very first one is your financial sanction. Then you have the travel and trade sanctions. And third is your individually targeted sanctions. Now, the biggest sanction which the Western governments have imposed on the Russian government is the sanction against the Russian Central Bank. Now, the Russian Central Bank have multiple different reserves. And they have actually imposed a sanction saying that almost $630 billion of their assets are completely frozen, which means that they don't have the access or they don't have the ability to access these assets altogether. Now, this directly impacts the Russian economy. Now, this particular reserve is actually the fourth largest reserve which the country has set up. And they have also imposed sanctions in terms of multiple different businesses cannot be currently partnering or cannot be currently dealing with the Russian Central Bank. Now, the United States, UK, European Union and Canada have also imposed sanctions on the Russian banks, where the Russian banks have been removed from SWIFT. Now, SWIFT is an extremely important feature. It's a messaging feature which banks and other financial institutions use globally. SWIFT is used in more than 200 different countries and it is an extremely important feature. So, the new sanction actually prevents the Russian banks from using SWIFT. Now, this directly impacts the Russian economy purely because the Russian individuals or the Russian companies who are using these banks will have a harder time for borrowing money or for investing their money across national borders. Also, what this means is that every single oil or crude oil or gas which Russia actually exports, there will be a delay in terms of the other countries paying them purely because of the SWIFT being removed. Now, there are multiple different other messaging features as well, but SWIFT is something which has been used globally. And hence, majority of countries and majority of banks actually only use SWIFT. Now, along with all of this, there are many other Russian banks where their assets have also been frozen. Also, in the United Kingdom, the Russian companies which are currently existing cannot get more investments or cannot get more loan from the country itself. Hence, these are few of the financial sanctions which have been imposed on Russia because of the Russia's invasion on Ukraine. Now, Nord Stream 2, which is an extremely important gas pipeline, is currently kept on hold. This particular pipeline stretches for almost 1,200 kilometers under the Baltic Sea. And the intent of this particular pipeline is to take gas from Russia all the way to Germany. So it connects Russia and Germany. And this particular pipeline is currently kept on hold. Along with that, the Russian aircrafts are currently banned from the Europe, US and Canada airspace. That means if they have to go to the destination, they need to take a much longer route. And with the increase in the oil prices, this does impact their oil expenses as well. The Western governments are also imposing multiple different sanctions on the wealthy Russians who have a high net worth. For example, the Swiss government has actually froze all the assets of Russians who had their assets in the Swiss banks. Also, the UK, for example, is limiting the golden passports where the Russian individuals can get a golden passport in UK provided they have an investment in UK. So that is also currently kept on hold. So in summary, Russia has been a minor player when it comes to impacting the global economy purely because they account only for 1.7% of the world's total production when it comes to the energy output or the energy export. Now these sanctions are imposed in such a way that it does not get affected in the countries which are actually importing a huge amount of crude oil. Now, for example, Germany imports a lot of crude from Russia. So these sanctions are designed in such a way that they do not get affected by a huge margin. Russia has also closed its airspace to 36 different countries, which means for the Russian flights to actually fly to its final destination, they have to take a much longer route, which also means that the consumption of oil in their case will be much higher. And because the oil prices are increasing rapidly, this does affect their economy as well. Also, if you see the Russian stock market, for example, the stock market of Russia has seen a massive crash, and this directly impacts the Russian retail investors who have been investing into the stock market of Russia. Also, the Russian national currency, which is the ruble, has also been impacted massively. And the Russian currency currently is actually weaker than the Indian currency as well. Also, the Russian central banks have also increased the interest rate to up to 20%. So, these are few of the sanctions which have been imposed by the Western governments on Russia. So, I hope you have actually understood what is the current situation between Russia and Ukraine and how it actually impacts the Russian economy and the global economy. I hope you actually found this particular video useful, and if you did, do hit the like button, do subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.